The Georgia General Assembly wrapped up another year's work on Friday, and throughout the session, we told you a lot about two proposals to cut down on abuses by school zone speed cameras.
But as you may have guessed, nothing was passed before lawmakers went home Friday. The Fox 5 team's Johnny Edwards reported on problems with the automated ticketing systems all last year, and during the session, you tracked the progress of two bills dealing with these cameras, Johnny.
Well, Russ and Courtney, for the second year in a row, lawmakers had two options: to ban the cameras or majorly reform them. But once again, the status quo remains.
When Georgia lawmakers got started at the state capitol this year, prospects looked good that something would get done about these.
It is wrong, and it's time for us to take a stand and do something about it.
Automated ticketing systems meant to keep children and pedestrians safe, but blamed for tricking drivers into tickets. Over the past year and a half, the Fox 5 team exposed cameras in 3 cities doing just that.
If that light had been flashing, I'm fairly confident I would have slowed down.
Writing thousands of unfair tickets because of timing problems between cameras and warning lights.
They shouldn't be raking in money from dozens of cars driving down the road when there's no light blinking, signaling that the speed limit is 25.
For the second year in a row, though, nothing got done on the issue before sine die. At first, Macon Republican Dale Washburn's proposal for an all-out ban seemed like a sure thing, with 100 lawmakers signing on to the bill. Hartwell Republican Alan Powell offered another option, supported by Speaker of the House John Burns, keeping the cameras but with major reforms in drivers' favor.
I think that this issue is serious enough that the public expects some changes to be made.
Both bills sailed through the House.
Mr. Clerk, will you unlock the machine?
But then hit major headwinds. There was the intensive lobbying effort by private companies that contract with cities and counties to install cameras.
There are a number of very powerful lobbyists that were hired to represent these school zone camera companies, and also we know there's big money given.
The I-Team previously reported how 3 major camera companies poured hundreds of thousands of dollars into campaign coffers and political committees over the past 4 years, including more than $200,000 to the Georgia House Republican Trust and more than $100,000 to the Georgia Republican Senatorial Committee, and more than $200,000 to Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones's leadership committee and campaign.
It is very frustrating for us to talk to so many citizens who have sent emails and made phone calls who want these cameras banned. These camera companies have taken millions of dollars.
There were also what seemed like just differences of opinion, and things went sideways when both bills reached the powerful Senate Rules Committee. Senate Majority Whip Randy Robertson taking issue with how Washburn himself had been ticketed.
Look, there were 2 of these in my house, and we did a really unique thing with it. We paid them because obviously my wife or I were driving a car and we were going too fast through a school zone.
The committee adding a paragraph to the ban bill that kneecapped it, allowing the cameras to operate for 3 more years.
So after 3 years, there'll be no more school zone speed cameras.
Unless we vote to extend the sunset.
That version passed in the Senate on Friday, still lacking final approval from the House. The reform bill also went through major changes that its sponsor couldn't live with.
I don't think it does what needs to be done, quite frankly.
Like removing a requirement that speed cameras be coupled with feedback signs, telling drivers how fast they're going before they pass a camera. Powell took his bill back to the House and got that provision and others added back in. But then the Senate adjourned early at about 9 p.m.
We're sine die.
Both measures now on ice until 2026.
Washburn's bill could have been approved in the House, but with that 3-year add-on, I'm told many lawmakers viewed it as pointless. Speaker John Burns felt strongly about using ticket proceeds for school safety. He told us in a written statement today, we're looking forward to the Senate taking action next year. Russ, Courtney?
So both bills will be alive next year when the session resumes in January, is that right?
That's correct. The sessions are on a 2-year cycle. This was year 1. So both Washburn and Powell tell me they will resume their efforts next year. Washburn, of course, trying to get that 3-year sunset removed, and Powell trying to get his bill in front of the Senate in the form that he likes.
Yeah, well, it'll be interesting to track what happens.
We'll be there.
All right, Johnny, thanks.
Thank you.
Lauren?
All right, well, we're